today I'm going to talk about building an agency, the mechanics of building an agency, and in particular, building if you want to build a large agency, what's the overall formula? And I'm going to also introduce a service that I wasn't even going to launch. I wasn't planning to launch today. It's called Agency in a Box, which means we will do the back-end operations, the actual work for you, for your agency. I wasn't planning to do it until we have our AI chatbot and a couple of other apps out, but there's a lot of demand for it, and I feel like it's at a point where it's launch ready. So I decided to launch it a little bit earlier. So let's start with what I'm trying to convey today. The questions that I see you guys ask on a lot of calls, and yesterday we had a mastermind call and I got this specific question. So should I provide specialist or generalist services? What services should I provide? Which industries and niches should I go after? Should I go after long-term projects or small projects and all that? Okay. This is for AI marketing agencies specifically, by the way, guys. I know some people are here for AI software agency. That is on Tuesdays. Those calls are on Tuesdays. So my short answer, and I'm going to back my answer, is that you got to do all of them. Okay. So here's the model that I've seen large service firms, okay, do. And this is not just marketing services. This is like general business consulting services. Even I'll show you guys law firms, even medical practices are set up this way. So there is a generalist / overall strategy. Essentially, I'm going to give you guys a few examples. There's the element of general and strategy, providing a general and strategy advice consulting to the customer. Okay, think in a marketing agency, this would be like overall marketing, user acquisition, go-to-market strategy. In a law firm, it would be general corporate law. Okay, in medicine, it would be the general practitioner, internal medicine, your family doctor. Okay. So those are the ones that actually acquire customers and keep a relationship back and forth with the customer for a long period of time. But then they push the customer for specialized services to specialists. Okay. And I'm going to show you guys a few examples, not just hypothetical. I'm going to show you guys how other firms are set up. And it's a general framework. Okay. So you have a specialized services. Think in a law firm, this would be like litigation. It would be like intellectual property, filing patents, stuff like that. Okay. For example, in a business consulting, and I'm going to show you guys examples so you will see. And then there's another way that they cut this pie, so to speak, and that's industry specific vertical solutions. Okay. So for example, if you're doing consulting for businesses, it's like retail, online businesses, whatever. So different types of businesses and industries. The role of general strategy is to essentially get the customers and create rainmaking and stickiness. The profit is normally captured by specialized services, more so than general services. And profit is also captured by industry specific solutions. And also some growth comes from word of mouth growth in that specific industry. The reason for that is if you are a generalist, you normally cannot have a large enough share of voice so that everybody in the whole world knows about you. But if you dominate a particular vertical solution, then other people look around like, hey, what do you use for such and such? And then those people refer to you. So you kind of it's easier to dominate a specific industry or a vertical. Okay. So I went and looked at large service companies. Okay. So that I'm not talking without actually showing you guys how this is done. McKinsey, you guys if I've heard of it, you can go to McKinsey's website. This is screenshots from their website. So they're set up the exact same way. It's a $16 billion a year company. They provide services and industry. So it's literally is almost as if all of them follow this formula. So if you go there, they have a services tab, and then they have a industry tab. So they have essentially the main partner goes in and creates the client relationship, and then the main partner pushes them into specialized services or industry specific solutions. Okay. So for McKinsey, it looks like this. They have growth, marketing, sales, and I bet you inside of it, yeah, someone said it's like a funnel in a way. Yes, it is like a funnel. It's implementation, M&A, merger acquisitions, digital, I guess that's digital marketing, people, organizational performance, risk assessment. The details doesn't matter. You understand each one of them are siloed. And even I worked in a strategy consulting company many years ago when I was in business school for one summer, and they had the same concept. So there was a general partner, and then you could go up. There were two paths. You could become a specialist, or you could become general partner, and it's just two different things. You either go into this bucket at the top over time, or you go into this bucket at a time, or this bucket at a time. Okay. So you see that in their website as an example too. And then they have industries. Okay. That's McKinsey, 16 billion a year company. Accenture, slightly different. But it's again the same concept. So you can see capabilities, which is a specialties, okay, and you see industries, okay. It was interesting. Presentation, I went and looked at a bunch of very different service businesses to see what they do. Fenwick and West is a law firm I've used in the past. It's 750 million years, so it's a relatively large law firm. Same concept. Even you see it at the top, services and industries. I clicked on the services tab, and again, you can see like corporate. This is the generic. So if you think about it, this yellow box is equivalent of the general and strategy. This yellow box is the equivalent of industry. Okay. I'm sorry, specialty. And then industry, you click on this tab. I didn't put a screenshot. It shows literally all sorts of vertical solutions. I looked at VaynerMedia. Their website was a little bit confusing, but this is the best I could gather. They also provide a host of solutions. Media buying, it looks like 4 types of specialized services: media buying, creative solutions, strategy, which I assume is a strategy consulting. I don't know what's the difference between these two, but I looked at VaynerMedia as well. I even looked at B2B SaaS companies. This is Salesforce. Same thing, products, industries. Okay. So with that, I'm going to tell you guys, this is what it means to do, like in my opinion, what it means for you if you want to do an AI marketing agency. The number one skill to actually become really good at is rainmaking, meaning getting sales, people skills, and common sense. Meaning, in my opinion, let me go back up a little bit. The hardest thing to crack is this, okay? Ability to become the rainmaker, get to customers and provide them with a wide range of services. So have all the special services ready to go and get in there and just make that first sale happen, okay? I think that is the hardest thing to do. The second thing is, again, this is my personal opinion, I think it's easier if you have a large menu of services. Basically, your default, this is what needs to happen. Essentially, when a client says, hey, can you do this for me? Like a large law firm, your answer should be, yes, of course. I'll send you to the specialist, okay? Or we can do it. So basically, your default answer, if you want to win, is Yes, we can do it. Now, obviously, you don't want to take on everything, but my point is the larger that menu, the more catching power your net has. Okay. So rainmaking means talking to a lot of people, potential leads. But then if you're talking to a lot of people and you have a net that doesn't catch a lot of them because you offer very few limited services, you're not gonna generate a lot of sales. Okay. So examples in your case would be ad and marketing creatives, website and funnels, media buying, automation, CRM, social media blog content. By the way, we're going to roll out a blog app, and I'm going to build AI into it. So this can be done. So that's why I was going to actually roll this out a little bit later, but uh, it's it's not. I think we're good enough to roll out to have this talk right now. So creatives, website and funnels, media buying, automation and CRM, social media and blog content, UGC video ads, customer support and sales chatbots. Okay, and then and more that you can think of, and we will add more over time too. So it's just this is a as we go forward, as the capabilities of AI increase, essentially we're going to add more and more services here. Essentially, increase the list of specialties, expand it, and then pick a vertical, grow in it. I think verticals you can go one or two at a time. So while the menu needs to be broad, again, my opinion, while the menu needs to be broad, pretty much on day one, the industry you can go sort of one or two at a time. Okay. So that's kind of my 1, 2, 3 formula. Let me talk about quickly. This is another question that I get a lot. So let's say somebody buys, I don't know, an enterprise level website or funnel build for you. How to price services? My rule of thumb is rule of third. So 1/3 should be fulfillment hard cost, 1/3 should be sales and marketing cost, and 1/3 should be your margin. Would it work if you start with a specific service offer, then do that service and offer something higher ticket that provides more value on recurring payment? So there's nothing wrong with what you're saying, Thomas, like taking one thing and then going deeper and deeper into that one thing. My point of this presentation is that while that model can be valid, if you look at large service companies, product companies are different. If you look at large service companies, they all are broad. And in fact, I would argue a lot of them started broad. The reason for that is exactly what I said. When you don't have a large menu of services, when you don't have a large menu of services and you as a rainmaker are talking to a lot of leads, a lot of those leads will not need the limited service or a service that you offer. Therefore, your conversion rate is going to be low, not because you're not good at sales or not because your service is not good, because just a percentage of people that you talk to who need that particular service is small. Does it make sense? So my point of this presentation is that broaden the menu. Okay, that's why we are launching all these apps. You guys can use other tools and all that. Broaden your menu. It will increase the probability of sale, because with a large menu, the chances of someone wanting something from your menu goes up. Therefore, per conversation, you will have a higher conversion rate. Okay. So, and then you can keep building deeper and deeper and deeper into every single one of those, but start with a broad menu. I mean, if I wanted to call this presentation one thing, I would have called it start with a broad menu. Fulfillment hard costs in service businesses means personnel. Yes. What is the actual cost? I mean, if there are other costs to it, also add it as well. I see it as a buffet of services. Yes. I mean, It's yes. If you look at all the examples I showed you guys, they have a buffet of services, and they have categories of buffet of services. Okay, so they have like veggies section, and you go in there, and there's like a million different types of veggies. They have like the meat section, and there's like all sorts of. It doesn't make sense. It's like a huge buffet, not even a tiny buffet. Melanie says, I know I can sell, but need your expertise after. Great. Yeah, that's kind of like one of the things I want to talk about today. Do you think the method would be easy to scale, and would you stick with one industry? That's kind of my point, Nas. I know there are specialized businesses out there, but when I look at the ones that have actually scaled, they went cross industry, cross services. Okay. So, in fact, I have a hard time thinking of big service companies that just do one box. So, if you look at the big ones, it seems like all of them like go and they create this grid of generalist partner, specialized solutions, industry specific solutions. It's kind of like a common theme. So when I see something like that, and that's what the big companies are, and if you want to scale, I'm like, well, that's the template is there. Let's just copy it. And I give you an example of it. There's definitely opportunities between you guys. I know some of you guys are really good at fulfillment, and some of you guys are really good at selling. Um, Definitely, you can solve this for this problem by partnering up and creating a team. Um, you can. There are obviously people who are solo entrepreneurs in our community, and there are multiple ways of doing it. One is to learn it all yourself. Second is hire a team of specialists on standby, meaning a contractor army. I highly recommend um, that you don't hire them on payroll, because the amount of work that you can generate per specialized branch of your company can vary widely. You might be able to sell funnel building solutions, which is something that a lot of people are doing these days. So there's a lot of demand for it. So you might be able to sell 2-3 projects in a month and charge like 5K per project, and then the next month you might have nobody, no new client. Okay, so you want to be able to have an elastic workforce, maybe the right term. So it's a contractor army on a standby. These are people that uh, that are contractors and are ready to work on an hourly basis, or they can just be let go. Now, the third solution, this is what I was going to talk about today. There's a membership fee for it, but this is the overall solution, and we are going to expand. It's the URL is, you guys can go to a deal.ai/agency in a box. You can check it out. So here's the thought. I had a lot of going back and forth with my team on this, even last night. So you can charge, for example, for something like a simple website or funnel build, something like $2,000 to $5,000 range. For enterprise level complex funnel build, it's like 5,000 to 10,000. You can probably charge in this range from a good client. I want to say for a simple build, 2,000, like on the lower end. For a complex build, let's say 4K on a lower end. Okay. So we priced our services super low, like less than a third. So you get essentially wholesale price from us. Okay. And that means we are low margin. But the benefit to us is that you're deploying your customers on our platform. Does that make sense? So you're making the rule of third is correct for you guys, but this is not gonna be, we're not gonna have a lot of gross profit on it, but it's okay for us because we are getting you guys to bring people into our software ecosystem where a lot of value uh, is built. Scroll stopping image ads, we get a ton of that. Okay, people are like, you probably have seen our ads all the time. There's a lot of demand for generating high CTR image ads or video ads. You guys have seen our video ads too. We can do those for you. We can, and we're going to give you an app too, by the way. So if you want to do it yourself, you just use our apps. But if you want like professionally done by our team, we give you the wholesale price, and you can charge your clients. Like, for example, I think for image ads, or let's say video ads, it's like $500 we charge you for a pack of 3 ads with music and video and all that. You can charge 1,000 to 3,000. UGC video ads, you can see. Also, we can do for you guys. We built a network for that as well. And there's more stuff. There's email newsletter coming, email marketing coming, AI chatbot setup coming. But again, I need to roll out the app first. That's why it's just there's an order to this thing. And blog post coming. Does that make sense? What kind of timeline can we expect the delivery from your team? At this point, my team is very robust. Okay. So because we are doing it for we ourselves are selling it to end clients. A lot of you guys may be even our customers. So we are selling these services ourselves, and my service team is very robust, and they have quick turnaround. Now, turnaround is different for an enterprise build versus, let's say, video ads, AI generated video ads. But the team can. Those of you guys who join this, there's a membership fee because it's brain damage. My team needs to make sure that you're selling the right product so it can be fulfilled. So there's a lot of back and forth consulting. So it would be essentially you talking to my team and like, hey, I have a client that wants such and such and such. Can be delivered, and my team will be like, da 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 da. Okay, so there's a membership fee to join this program, but it's less than hiring a VA. For those who join, you will receive a rate sheet and exact ETAs. So you know. How does this differ from affiliate? Affiliate, you're selling our software tool and platform. This, you're selling a service to your end consumer under your own brand. Okay, so you're selling like an enterprise funnel build for, let's say, 5K, or a simple website build for 2K, and you're just coming and tapping our back office operations to build it for $500. Does that make sense? As AI becomes better and better, we will offer more and more solutions. And again, one of the big things that I think is an opportunity for you guys is AI chatbots, both in customer support and sales, like appointment setting and sales. It is not rolled out yet because the apps are not out yet. Once I have the apps out, again, remember, our margin on these are low. We are giving wholesale prices to you guys. The benefit to us is that you guys are having people sit on our software platform, so increase our ecosystem. And that's kind of the benefit. So we need to have the apps out. So Larry, yes, I can focus on selling, having a support team in the background. Yes. So essentially, the idea here is very simple, guys. You become really good at selling. You become knowledgeable, like become a generalist person. Okay. You become knowledgeable and cut the learning curve. You don't have to actually do the thing yourself. You can have my team at a wholesale price do it for you, and it's white labeled as your agency, essentially. I mean, other than the fact that they have to have a Deal.ai subscription, for example, to host the funnel. But it's your agency that is providing. Okay. Yes, the team will the team will contact you as point of contact. So we will essentially, those who join, they will be contacted by my team. They will give you the process on how to communicate with them on all the projects. And you essentially, you're customer facing, you sell to the customer, You collect the money, whatever amount you want to charge them, it's up to you. For example, for advertising, I don't know if I see it. For example, for advertising, the going rate is like $1,000 to $3,000 a month, 10% of ad spend. Okay, that's between you and the client. You come to us and we charge you $499 a month flat. Now we have like certain parameters around what we do, but we will talk with you, not with the end client, unless you want us to, in which case we will be happy to help. But you can essentially own it. That's why it's called agency in the box. I've had this idea for a while, but we just didn't have enough apps to get the benefit of you guys putting people in our ecosystem. I think we are there now. Would it be good to have our own website displaying the services? Yes. So you can essentially, well, obviously you don't display your wholesale price, right? So you should be displaying whatever you charge. If you want to display it, display what you charge to the customer. It doesn't matter to us. You're collecting the money from the customer. You just come to us for fulfillment. Can you talk a little bit about onboarding process? Once I get the customer, who's the main contact to talk to the customer, me or your team? So Tyler, it's up to you. I think it's best if you talk to the customer. This is your agency, and then convey to us. But if you want to move on to next sale and next sale and next sale, that's also okay. You can put, my team can contact directly with your customer, but at which point they will have to introduce themselves as Deal.ai's fulfillment team, right? That is up to you. Different people have different preferences. Maybe you just want to be in sales. That's fine. But if you want to build an agency, then you also want to own the relationship. So, but we are open. We will cover both. Website hosting and SSL, it is on Deal.ai. So they just need to sign them up for Deal.ai. Essentially, that's all there is. Daniela, you're pretty much handling the fulfillment for agencies. That's what we're doing. So what I'm doing is that it's a multi-pronged approach. Okay, so you put yourself in my shoes. We are building a tech company. And as AI progresses, we launch more and more apps. And our overall idea, the overall vision is that we build an operating system that you put all sorts of small, medium-sized businesses on it, and it handles different aspects of their business. And AI is helping in every step of the way. Okay, so that's like a one all-encompassing platform. The way we are going to build this relationship is that, okay, so approach number one, you go and build your team and all that, and I give you the tools, meaning the apps, to do a good job, okay? And keep you on the cutting edge of technology. That's what we have been doing. Now we are going a step further, and we are saying, okay, not only we give you the apps, the tools, we have been giving you training, but we will also do the actual work for you now that I have a robust backend team that can actually do the work. So you take the knowledge, the common sense, and sales skills, you sell to the customer, and you can rely on us for fulfillment. Now, you don't have to rely on us for everything, okay? You can be like, no, over time, I want to have my own service departments, a specialist, so to speak, or there are areas that I know myself, okay, which is fine. You can essentially pick and choose from this menu. But my point is, the larger the array of services you provide, the better off you are. Therefore, it's best that you at least augment your services with our in-house services. I can attest personally, the team is incredibly fast. Thank you, Jeff. The team is fast, guys. I mean, honestly, those of you guys who have worked with us, you know this already. It is a well-oiled machine in terms of fulfillment. And the prices we're giving you guys is wholesale price, okay? So, and you don't have to hire anybody, essentially. So, now, like I said, you can pick and choose. Is it available in other languages? The answer is yes. So, it needs to be in, I think, 12 languages. The accuracy, so if you're selling it in a different language other than English, we can produce it using AI. But end of the day, you need to be the person that reviews everything. You need to be fluent in Spanish or whatever other language to make sure that things are correct. In English, we do QA ourselves, quality assurance ourselves. I kind of feel like a lot of times people have self-limiting beliefs when it comes to services. I'm going to end on this note. So they're like, Alex, great. You show me McKinsey and Accenture and large companies and their model, but I'm a little guy or a gal, and I don't have any of that. And is it really relevant to me why you need this model? And the answer is actually more relevant to you than what you think. So it's with the right business model, with the right thought process, with the right system, a lot of times your life is easier, not more difficult, to grow a company. Essentially, like I always say, it's easier to build a company. It's easier to build a company with a big, difficult idea than a company with a small idea. Okay? You can't rally clients, you can't rally team members, you can't rally capital, you can't get yourself excited about a small idea or some small, tiny framework. And thinking and building a long-term vision and framework is free. Okay. So that's a part that sometimes I have disconnect with people. I'm like, it's okay, it's free to think big. Now, you need to act small, but it's free to think big. And once you think big, it's actually easier to build a small company around that big idea. It's so counterintuitive. Like that's why, like, I'm trying to explain to you guys, for example, having a large menu of services, having a website that offers a large menu of services as one example of the general principle I just shared with you guys. Having a website that has a large menu of services, in fact, increases the probability of you being able to get your 1 or 2 clients. Okay, because the reasons, the mechanical reasons that I mentioned to you, is like people are more likely to need something from a large menu than a small menu. And for fulfillment, there are solutions. I mean, obviously, I gave you guys a solution ourselves. That's why I brought it forward, so you guys have it. But there are solutions. You can hire people to do it. Don't think that you got to do everything yourself. So with that, I'm gonna stop this conversation. Hopefully, it was good.
I'll throw one more thing in there because my personal experience. I've been in this since the inception of SMMA and marketing agencies. 7 or 8 years ago. Literally, I was part of the first SMMA program ever, and it's one of the best business models ever, right? And all it takes, the biggest thing, I've probably helped thousands and thousands of people launch these businesses at this point. And the biggest differentiator between those that fail and those that make it is just taking action. It's one of the best businesses to go out there and just start talking and getting clients. But back in SMMA, or a few years ago, no one ever had the fulfillment that we guys can deliver, that we can deliver to you guys through Deal.ai. So really think about that, guys. If you haven't jumped on, save that link, because this is such a cool opportunity. You're just getting these clients. We're also giving you leads potentially. And then when you're coming back with these clients, you have the most insane fulfillment in the world. So really, really think about it. Okay, guys, I've got my baby screaming in the background. So I'm going to jump off here. Guys, thank you so much for jumping on. The engagement was incredible. As always, love this community. We are growing every single friggin' day. You guys are rock stars. Let's keep growing. Let's keep getting out there. Hopefully you can't hear my babies crashing and screaming in the background. Have an amazing rest of your Sunday, guys. And same time, same place next week. All right, guys, have a good one. Bye.